All right. Hello, health heads. Welcome and thank you for checking into this very special dose of Healthcare Uprising. I'm your producer in the back, Jeremy Carr, here with your host in the front row, Heather Pierce, who is going to now tell you what's on our agenda for today. What's on our agenda for today, Heather?
This is a very special episode. Today we have Amy and Sam with us. Amy is the parent of a transgender son, um, her child, and they're coming on to talk about their journey through Sam's transition and the challenges they've faced and the community they have found in the process. And we're going to get educated and we're going to build some empathy today, everybody. And we're gonna use our listening ears.
I'm not even going to add to that. Without further ado, here's our conversation with Amy and Sam.
Hi, and welcome to the Healthcare Uprising podcast. Today we have Sam and Amy with us. I should say Amy is the parent of a transgender son, Sam. So we have the duo here together. We're really excited to have the both of them here with us to talk about their story and how they have kind of navigated this universe. So welcome to the show.
Thank
Hi.
you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're super stoked to have this conversation. And I just want to kind of like caveat this, healthcare touches a lot of different parts, right, of our lives. I mean, it's everywhere. Mental health is a big part of it. We're going to get into that and kind of the mental health impacts of some of the challenges and the struggles that you faced, moving through all of this over, the last several years. And then just, we're going to have kind of an open conversation. I think there's a lot of people that are really interested in hearing this story because there's a lot of people out there that have similar paths and, you're not alone, right? And I think that's the most important thing. And that there's a lot of people out here that support and love you. And, and we just want to give you a platform to talk and get, I tell everybody, everyone deserves to be here in their own right. And we're all special and unique. We are special little freaking snowflakes. And, and I'm just anyway, I'm just really grateful for you guys to come on the show and be honest. I know this is a tough conversation to have in a public forum. So anyway, with that, I
Thank
let's
you.
let's yeah, let's dive in. Let's dive in, guys.
Where do
So
you even start?
I mean, I don't know. Where do you start?
That's the real question. Where do we
Yeah.
even start?
Why don't yeah, I'm gonna throw the mic to you guys. Amy, maybe as a
I,
parent, being the one who kind of, maybe that's where we start there is like your perspective as a parent. And of course, Sam, we wanna hear a lot from you as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I guess we could sort of start from the beginning.
I guess, yeah.
yeah, like
When,
how do you
yeah,
know
how,
to
yeah,
start?
exactly. How do you
Yeah.
start?
Yeah.
I mean, I could tell you from my perspective, and then Sam will go with his, and I'm sure they're probably quite a bit different.
Yeah.
From a parent perspective, when Sam was around, I want to say 11, 12 in middle school, really started exploring a lot more with gender, and sexuality and all the different terms and feelings and, kind of quickly went through of a few different terms that I had to look up at the time, which was demigirl.
Oh.
And he's gonna cringe over some of those, I'm sure.
Man, just when I think I know them all, I
no,
hear one I don't.
No, I probably don't either.
I
No.
doubt I remember them either.
Yeah. Um, but he's definitely exploring for
Mhm.
a couple of years there, just trying to find your place, in the world. It's developing your personality and your feelings and everything that goes along with it in middle school. Like it can be a lot,
That's tough for
right?
everybody,
Oh,
right?
Oh
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah.
Just like every other kid, right?
Mhm.
Just kind of learning things as you go from your friends and peers and everything. Um, so yeah, as he was kind of going through that journey, sometime around, was it 12 or 13? You
Probably.
came
I
out as
think
non-binary.
yeah, probably seventh grade, maybe sixth. Something
Okay,
like
yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
still in middle school towards the end.
Okay.
Um, he came out to us as non-binary,
Mm.
and changed his name, his
Hmm.
original name that I gave him when he was born a girl.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
And did you
and
understand what that meant? Like as
question,
mom or
right? I did, for the
okay.
most part, but honestly, mostly because of the kids, because of
Mhm.
the school that they went to and the conversations that we all had together. I just learned so much more about, gender in
Yeah.
general, and queer theory, yes, is a
Wow.
term you
Okay.
could use.
That's a great
Um,
term.
Yeah.
right? And just, I mean, just like, demigirl or something like that. Like, I was learning things all the time through the kids, and I've always been very, very open-minded in general. Like, people should live their lives how they want to, no matter what.
Hmm.
Um, so that's never really been a problem there. Um, so yeah, Sam came out as non-binary, and I want to say that lasted about 6 months or
Not
so.
long.
It wasn't very long at all. Um, and was still exploring. And one day, came to me in the kitchen, and said, I want to try using he, him pronouns for a week to see what it feels like.
Hmm.
And we were like, bet, all right. Like, who's
Well,
that
you
gonna
didn't
hurt?
have the terminology down. Bet.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time from my kids. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are you called bruh also?
oh, yeah, of
Uh,
course.
that would
Yeah.
drive me
Okay.
nuts. That one would get me.
Bro,
That,
bro,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so he wanted to explore, another feeling at that point. And so, we tried out he, him for maybe a few days, and then,
Yeah. I think it
it
was
was
like 2 days.
very, very quickly, it was like, that feels so right. That
Mm,
feels exactly who I am, the direction I'm supposed to be going. Like,
hmm.
it was just very clear.
Yeah.
Um, and so from there, he just kind of worked with his friends at school to come up with a name, and um and it just started to kind of socially transition
Hmm.
at
sure.
that point, real
And
slow.
Yeah.
what was that? I mean, I try to understand people's minds and, any given situation. What was that like for you, Sam? In that, I mean, it seems like you knew something was different, but you had to go through a process. Like you didn't know what it was until you found it in a way. But
Yeah.
what was that like for you? Like, um, I mean, did it feel clunky? Did it feel like when we talk about gender as fluid, did you feel like you kind of flowed from one thing to the next, or was it more of a stumble? Like, what did it really feel like to go through that?
For me, I think it was more of it's like just discovering a new thing and wanting to try that one out. Because with her, she says that she learned most of it from us, but from my perspective, at least, I learned a lot of it from her. I
Hmm.
kind of grew up with her being very accepting with that sort of stuff. And I started exploring it. I don't remember exactly why, but I think I had been on some sort of social media or something like that and seen some buzzwords and stuff and decided to look into it. And so I think I originally started with being, I think, lesbian or something like that.
Hmm.
Started out with liking girls, um, and then just kind of cycled through as many as I could get through, I guess, until I found the right one. And I guess I just landed on this one.
Yeah.
And it felt right.
Yeah, for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
And obviously you had a lot of support from your family. Your mom is
On her
amazing.
side, yeah.
And which game changer, right? Not
Hmm.
everybody has that. That's huge. I wish more
Yeah.
parents were more open-minded and supportive of
Yeah.
their
Absolutely.
children.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's it's funny. I've always kind of been very close to the queer community in general. I just
Hmm.
very much enjoy everything about the queer community. There's so much joy in there, and openness and kindness and connection and everything. And if every time we hang out and they kind of learn a bit of our story, um, they tell me. just how incredible I am as a parent and things like that. And it's very sweet and humbling to hear. But my answer to that is it shouldn't be. Like this is
Right.
exactly how you're supposed to react as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
If your child comes to you and tells you that um, I'm hurting and I don't feel right in my body. I want to
Mm-hmm.
try. Could you try and use these different words to address me for a week? If you can't do that for your kid, I'm sorry, you're not parenting very well.
Mm-hmm.
Fair,
Like
fair.
I'm calling it out right now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think it should just be that's how it is, like with anything else that your child comes to you with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How was the rest of like kind of your immediate family and I'd like to understand too, Sam, like school, right? Like that social piece of it. Obviously, your friends were helping you work on some, names and things of that nature. But what was the school environment like for you as well?
Well, I'm currently in a different state than I was originally, but in the
Hmm.
state that I was in, I went to a very open-minded school, like one of not very many at all. So I got pretty lucky with the school that I went to. They were very open, very accepting. And there were a lot of people kind of in the same situation as me
Oh,
uh,
okay.
around that time in the school because it was very small. Everyone kind of knew each other.
Hmm.
Uh,
I
so
think a lot of kids went there specifically to like
yeah,
They knew.
Because it was that
feel
safe
like,
place
Yeah.
for you.
yeah, accepted.
accepted
It's a
and
Yeah.
safe place for them to be to
Hmm.
explore all those things. Yeah.
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 So that school aspect was definitely much more accepting. I did experience some bullying, but it wasn't a lot. It was only like one dude.
Okay.
Oh, we
And
all had one.
Yeah.
there was always
Right.
one.
We all had one.
Yeah. But at the school
I'm
I'm at
happy to hear that
now,
though. Yeah.
Hmm.
it's definitely not as accepting, but it's not the opposite, I guess. It's kind of
Okay.
somewhere in like a neutral sort of area. There's some accepting people, there's some people that aren't. I just kind of
Hmm.
have to gauge who I decide to tell about that.
Hmm.
Sure.
Okay.
Uh, when you moved, were you transitioned already?
Almost entirely, yeah. I
So
was,
they didn't know you before.
mm-mm.
That
Yeah, and
I'm sure
and
that helped.
Tim,
Yeah.
you would be what is called stealth, right?
Yeah, I didn't
Hmm.
There you
tell
go.
anyone. I wasn't like out, I guess you could say.
Sure.
Hmm.
I would never talk about it or mention it to anyone or like show childhood pictures or anything like that. Like I had to communicate with some of my teachers when there were assignments where they were like, "Tell me about you." I was like, "I can't
Mm,
show you pictures of me when I was a kid."
Hmm.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And so school has been though like at this point for where you are kind of where you're at in your life, right? In general, do you feel pretty supported and safe at school? Do you have a good friend group? Like how does life look for you right now?
Yeah, it's much better than I expected from a public high school because it's pretty hard to get. But
Yeah.
I found a pretty close-knit group of people who are very accepting and very open-minded with that sort of stuff. And I've never had any issues so far, at least, with bullying or hearing any weird stuff that's like kind of derogatory towards me or
Hmm.
anything like that. So it's been pretty great.
That's
Hmm.
good.
The next generation is so much better about this
They
stuff.
really
Yeah.
are.
They really are.
We can learn from you, just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, in a
absolutely.
lot of ways.
Mhm.
We have some wisdom, us older people, but I do say that a lot, is that we also have a lot to learn from young people.
We were
The
talking about that earlier
We
too
were,
between episodes. Yeah.
yeah,
How you need to team up, like, a
yeah.
50 something
Yeah.
and a 20 something on any thought project
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so that you can get
Yeah.
the perspectives from both.
definitely.
Maybe even in government. I don't
Uh,
know.
Yeah, and like anything where you're trying to like formulate something that affects society, you should have the
Yeah.
different, aspects of that, the young
Right.
wisdom with the old wisdom, because that's where real wisdom comes from.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like this whole idea of listening. I don't know.
Right.
Kind of a wild, crazy idea.
Yeah,
Um, so in because this is a healthcare podcast, and so I want to make sure that we do touch on some of those things. Now, you sound pretty like comfortable and like you've had a relatively positive experience. Is that safe to say?
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I would like to know about your journey with the doctors and stuff.
yeah, I want to get
That
there.
really,
I
this is,
Yeah, hold on. Hold
I'm jumping the gun.
pump
All
your
right.
brakes, Jeremy.
This is why she's in charge.
This is why I sit in the front row.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
um no, I want to talk a little bit about like the mental health impacts of this. And this is also like, Amy, with you, like being the parent and going through that, like this is a and you're super open-minded already, right? So it's not like you're like, I need therapy, to like understand this. But like, did you ever encounter either one of you, like any point where you felt like, okay, I do need some support with this? And Sam, especially you, we hear so much about um, the transgender community and even just the queer community at large dealing with not feeling like they have a space to talk and be honest and be their, true authentic self, and even like suicide rates and things like that, which you clearly, at least
Very
doesn't
high
sound like you've dealt
suicide.
with. Like I think it's worth us kind of talking through that, even if you haven't maybe been personally affected by it. Maybe you have friends that maybe have gone through it. What do you see? Like, what have you felt? Like, what if you're open to talking about that a little bit?
You
For
comfortable
sure.
talking about?
Oh, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
I will not lie, it's very difficult
Hmm.
to deal with mentally, of course. When I first started kind of transitioning, it was very hard to make friends that didn't just view me as the trans guy or
Mm,
like your kind of unique LGBTQ friend or whatever. Um, and I did experience some bullying from certain people. And yeah, it was quite difficult. It's very difficult to grapple with in your mind where you're just like the dysphoria is very hard. Just looking at yourself in the mirror, being unable to discern kind of what's going on and why you feel so disgusted kind of looking at yourself in the mirror. I had issues with showering for a very long time. I had to put
Mhm.
a towel up on the mirror
Yeah,
so
we
I could just
installed
look.
towels. We
hmm
mm,
I used to
did
shower
all
with the
kinds of
lights
stuff.
off,
Hmm.
bathe with the lights off, all that good stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was very, very mentally challenging. I definitely had my grapples with suicide as well, many times, as I think most people like me do.
hmm.
I think that's just very generally common.
It's a very high percentage,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
To dispel any
It's
myths about that, it is
It's
it is
not
not
the
inherent to being
no.
transgender. It's to do with the fact that one, there's dysphoria there, and it is so strong. Like imagine looking at yourself, like Sam was just saying, and being horrified at what you're seeing. It does not match what you feel on the inside or is in
like
your
you're
mind.
in the body of a stranger or something.
Exactly,
Basically,
exactly.
yeah.
Mm,
And then the political discourse,
Mm.
peer bullying, the lack of support in society, lack of understanding generally, is one of the main causes of the very high rate of suicide, in transgender youth in particular,
hmm.
Right.
because that's such a difficult time in your life, as we all know, right? All of
Yeah.
us
Mm.
very wise adults, as you
Yeah,
said.
it's hard
Um,
to begin with. If you
yeah.
feel like
Mhm.
you fit in, it's hard.
You're already having
When
body issues
you're
at
like
that age,
way
right?
far from feeling like you fit in, it just gets so much harder.
10 times worse, yeah.
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 Hmm.
Wow.
I've been doing definitely better with it recently, especially
Okay.
since I just got top surgery
Oh,
very
okay.
recently. Yeah.
Oh,
All healed up from that now.
Okay.
And I got on hormones and puberty blockers and all that good stuff, and that definitely helped a lot with it. But I think recently it's been very difficult to hear about all the things that are being said,
Mm,
the
I'm
laws that are being
sure.
attempted to pass, and it's just I don't know, it makes me kind of view the world in a very negative way, and I don't want to view it in that way.
yeah.
Mm.
You're not alone. We're viewing the world in a negative way too right
The
now
good's
because of
still
that kind of
here.
stuff.
It's just that the bad is winning right now.
Yeah,
Hmm.
But that's just right now.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this podcast isn't political, but it's still, we're here to help make that
Yeah,
change a little bit
Yeah.
in our
definitely.
own way.
Good. Yeah. Thank you guys for that. I mean, just doing this is huge,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Putting
Yeah.
Can can I
dispelling the
tangent?
misinformation that's out there.
And that's what we want to do. We absolutely do. And that's why I think that's important for us to hear, and I know Jeremy wants to get into kind of the physical side, and you've started touching on that a little bit,
Yeah.
Sam. And I know I'm interested in that as well, because that is a healthcare issue. That is a mental health issue, clearly. And I think there's a lot of confusion from people that
Mhm.
don't understand it,
Yeah.
what it
Yes.
means, and like, where do you get that kind of support? Why is that support? Why is gender affirming care important? Also, gender affirming care also isn't just one thing, right? Like,
Right.
it's much bigger
Yes.
than that.
Oh
So,
yeah.
A
yeah. So
lot
I
of
think,
misinformation around that for
Yeah.
yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's dispel the myths, and we're here to provide some clarity. I know
There,
Jeremy was just about to ask
well,
something though,
there's
so before
I
I
found some actual science
oh,
behind the fluidity of gender.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good talk.
I don't know if you guys are familiar, but there's a guy, I wrote it down. He was a professor at Stanford who put his course. It's just straight up his lectures. You're in the classroom with him
Hmm.
for the whole series of lectures that is this
Stanford does
course.
that. That's cool. Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
the course is human behavioral biology,
hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
and his name's Robert Sapolsky.
Have you heard of him?
Are you guys familiar with this guy?
No.
Mm-mm.
Uh, it's all about the evolution of the brain, behavior of mammals, how you can like look at the physicality of brains and tell the behaviors of different mammal species, and it's really interesting stuff. I believe it's episode 6, if I remember right. He gets into human sexuality. They have found a piece of the human brain that seems to determine gender,
Hmm.
and it's looks this way in females, and it looks this way in males. But if you're gay, a gay man or a lesbian woman, it looks different.
Hmm.
Yeah.
In
Hmm.
trans people's, I can't remember what the piece of the brain is called. I didn't get that deep into my notes,
Hmm.
Hmm.
but they have done the studies, they've done the autopsies, they've done the science on it, and they have gotten to the point that the people who know this science can just look at that piece of your brain and tell you if you were straight or gay or lesbian or trans.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's literally physical.
Hmm.
It's a physical property of your brain that determines your gender, and it
You
is
know, you
fluid.
mentioned that. I remember seeing some clips of some stills of a comparison of a cisgender brain and a transgender brain, and like the different
Yeah.
part where
Hmm.
um, something is different. Yeah, and I can't remember what part of the brain it is
Yeah,
either. I
I
could
but
find it and
I
link it in the podcast or something because
yeah, it's on
it really is fascinating. Yeah.
The
Hmm.
Stanford YouTube page, Human Behavioral Biology course
Hmm.
with Professor Sapolsky.
Yeah, we'll put that in the show notes. Maybe go
I'll
check it out there.
I'll actually find the specific episode and put the link to that in the show notes for you.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
Uh, because that to me that blew my mind. I'm like, wait, we actually have science for this? Why aren't we talking about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems
And it
important.
really
It's
makes me
yeah.
wonder, like, if the scientific community knows that's a thing, how are they not pushing that to the public?
Right.
Like
The
that's got
government
to be a
probably.
thing.
Hmm.
Like,
Take
like
too
this,
long.
we can prove that it's not choice. It's people are who they
Right.
are
Yeah.
because they
Mhm.
are who they are. Like there's nothing you can do about it. It's foundational.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
all
like
of these
combined with
different
cells.
genders and the fluidity of gender is foundational to being human.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's like I don't. That's why I don't get when people say it's not natural because it's all. First of all, it's found in other animals, other species.
Many
Yeah.
others.
Any
Oh
other
yeah, all over
can
the
like
place.
many species can change genders. Many
Right.
there's seahorses that can birth uh, other seahorses that are
Yeah,
male.
like when all the men die, the females just start reproducing by themselves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Mhm.
frogs that do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So yeah, it's backed up by science. So I don't. I people that say it's not natural, it's just like uninformed.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
wrong.
They're
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
yeah,
that too.
exactly. They're uninformed, they're
Yeah.
wrong, and it's
You're
not a
you're
debate.
wrong.
Like
Incorrect.
it's not a debate anymore. The science is there. Like we know this is a thing and we can
Yeah.
tell you why. We can
Yeah.
tell you how it works.
Yeah.
It's just they don't want to admit that because it's not
Yeah,
good for, culturally they don't like it.
Hmm.
Right.
Societally they don't like it.
I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially right now, we're having a lot of
Yeah, now it's worse
with
than
that.
ever around here.
Yeah, we need to change that. And hopefully we can help do that with the show.
This does something.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Sam, tell us a little bit about then what it's felt like to go through the actual transitioning process. Like, how did you get support? Or was it through, has any of this been covered through insurance, for example? Would love to hear kind of like, and where that started and like, how do you start into that process? It like, what does
Yeah.
that look like? Walk us through it.
I don't exactly remember exactly where it started, but I definitely consulted, I'm pretty sure my doctor,
Hmm.
and I'm 99% sure it was all covered through insurance.
Yeah, well, in the beginning, this is a really good thing to talk about, actually. Like you were saying, that gender affirming care is all kinds of different things. It's not
Right.
just, as some people like to say, chopping the parts off of
Yeah.
young kids. Like
Hmm.
that's not
Not
at
at
all
all.
what's happening here, right? So to begin with, it starts with very minor transitions of using new pronouns, using a new name, changing clothes,
Getting a haircut.
changing your hairstyle. And and you can speak to that to start to feel better, and more like yourself.
Yeah, you start to feel a little more like you're going in the right direction, I guess. And so we medically moved forward as well. And I think I started on puberty blockers originally, something like that.
Actually, I think we had to skip that because you were too old.
Oh, yeah, I was too
Yeah.
old
The
for,
thing
Is
about
there like
puberty,
an age
there
that
is,
you
you
have to
really need
take
to
them by?
start it right before puberty.
and
That
I was
hence
kind
puberty
of
blockers.
going into it at the time. I think I was like maybe
Yeah, what
halfway through.
Like 11,
once it starts, you can't stop it again, huh?
Exactly. So
Yeah,
once you've
Yeah,
started, it's kind of,
the
it's not
train's
going
in
to
motion.
do a whole lot.
right.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So then
So
we
then I
started
went to
looking at that.
hormones. I
Hmm.
think I started taking testosterone in what was it, like 2022, 21,
Yeah, somewhere around there.
somewhere around there.
Hmm.
And that originally I think was a little patch that I would put on my arm.
Hmm.
It was very itchy. I didn't like it.
I wear a
Uh,
patch too.
yeah, they stuck.
I get hormones.
So I got tired of that and we switched to a gel, which I would rub on my arm every morning.
Uh-huh.
That sucks too.
Mhm.
And then up to now, where I am doing shots weekly,
Oh.
I like self-administered,
Or mom administered.
mom-administered shots. Um, but yeah, it was a pretty easy process comparatively to most. I think we got
Uh-huh.
very lucky with the insurance that we had and the doctors that we were paired with. Especially with moving to this state, it's so much cheaper
Oh,
to
okay.
Oh,
like
really?
get
Okay.
all the things that I need. Because
Yeah,
back in our
substantially.
old state, it was like what, $300 every time we would get testosterone
Yeah, the test
Mm,
was
was
very
crazy.
expensive monthly.
Monthly.
okay.
Yeah, it was four or $500, I think,
Yeah.
for
Oh, wow.
gel.
Yeah.
Well, because it was not covered under
Okay.
insurance.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
gotcha.
yeah, so
We
they wouldn't
learned
cover it.
we
Yeah.
learned recently from a doctor who was a guest on this podcast how billing in hospitals actually works, and my
Mhm.
brain almost exploded.
It's
I
Yeah.
would
insane.
probably rather not know
I
because
don't.
I'll
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. You really
Too much
don't.
info. I don't
just
No.
gonna
want
make me mad,
to
huh?
You could
consume
be
it.
in the same hospital in the next room over from someone who's getting the exact same treatment as you, and you'll get two totally different prices for it.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
just back
crazy?
away slowly from
Yeah,
that.
just you
Yeah.
don't even you literally don't even want to
Don't
know
even.
because it'll just make you angry.
There's a reason I don't work in the insurance industry anymore. I
Yeah.
ran away from that.
Kidding.
Like, get
Oh
me
yeah.
out. I need to not be a part of
Right.
this
For
world
sure.
anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you were able to at least get what you've needed, right? So you've never
Yeah.
felt like you've never encountered anything that or anyone that said no or like this, I won't do this or like how does that work out? Like in finding the right providers to support you.
Yeah, with hormones, I don't think we had any issues with that really. We
Okay.
kind of just went to the doctor that I was seeing already,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
she was
I
just
think
very open-minded, and
Okay.
she gave me the hormones that I needed. But with top surgery, that was a more difficult endeavor. I started trying, I think when I was 15, 16,
16.
16. So
Are
what,
you 17 now?
I'm 17, yeah.
Okay. I thought so.
Um, and I think I got rejected twice or three
Oh.
times. It
Um,
just things happened to where it didn't work out.
yeah,
The first
you
time,
weren't rejected.
yeah,
It didn't go through because of
because
the
of some
threat of
laws.
policies. And
Oh.
so they stopped doing any kind of gender affirming surgery under 19 at the two different locations that we were going through for gender affirming care, because the hospitals
They
were
were getting
getting,
threats from the FBI,
yeah,
Jesus.
or
Excuse
threats
me.
from like the DOJ or
the
whoever,
whoever.
they're going to pull their funding. So they put all that on hold.
Right, yeah. So yeah, there were three attempts at getting surgery. First was she's kind of losing it.
Sorry, Heather's having technical difficulties.
Okay.
Okay.
He's okay.
Okay.
I think I'm okay. I had like a tickle in my throat because I've had a
Oh,
sore throat and
yeah, it happens.
and I'm like talking and it's irritating. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, we started and I was unaware that I wasn't supposed to be taking Accutane at the time. And I had been going through the process of trying to get surgery. I was like waiting on the date that I was going to get it. I'd already gone through the letter that I had to send for my therapist and whatever else, all the blood tests. And I went to go get my date for surgery, and the doctor saw that I was taking Accutane, and she said you have to wait 6 months for it to
To
get
come
out
off
of
of
your
it.
system because the
Sorry.
scars would not heal properly, and I don't think they would heal at all. But yeah, so got through that one, and then after that, finally, I did end up getting surgery in Seattle.
Okay. Sorry for my coughing fit.
It's okay.
I've been struggling with a little bit of a
It's going to be a
cold
fun
thing.
edit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I do
Yeah,
this?
enjoy that later.
Can you tell me what Accutane is? And if you said it because I was busy coughing my head off, can you tell me what Accutane is?
Yeah, Accutane is just like an acne treatment where
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very popular.
it's like the
Mhm.
best treatment I think that you can get for acne.
Yeah.
Oh,
It takes like 3 to 6 months to
Oh,
just
right.
completely remove all the acne,
Mhm.
and
got
The
it.
testosterone just jacks that stuff up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was like a I don't know, what do you
Well, it
call it?
affects your skin regeneration quite a bit, and so they wouldn't do the surgery because your scars wouldn't close as well.
Oh,
The healing period would be too difficult, and she said that we had some issues in the past where like nipple grafts like just did not take at all, and
And
so they lost their
Oh,
nipples.
wow.
Just like let's avoid that if we
didn't
can.
want that. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so that got pushed off. Another
okay.
6 months, and then I found a private practice instead
hmm
in the state. Yeah.
Okay.
And so top surgery, is that one? I'm assuming that's considered an elective surgery, correct?
Well, I could speak to that. So insurance wise, in this state, so in the state we were in before, um, insurance would not necessarily cover much of anything for gender affirming care, like the hormones, or the testosterone or anything like that. So that was mostly paid out of pocket. And I did have to find who was, I believe, the only doctor in the state who was doing gender affirming care specifically and who was willing to prescribe those things. So
Very
Well,
lucky.
you got one
Sam
for the
says, no, we
whole
never had
state.
any issues. In the background, I was doing insane
Yeah.
research.
Uh,
Lots and lots and lots of research trying to find the right providers who were willing to do, the different things that we needed to do, who understood about gender affirming care and trans youth health and such things.
Hmm.
And so, and going forward, in the state we're in now is a lot more progressive, and the insurance we have here is state insurance through my husband's work, and it's quite excellent. And it does consider top surgery to be gender affirming care, so it was
Okay.
oh, good.
100% covered under
Wow,
our
good.
insurance.
Wow.
Yeah, we just got the
Yeah,
bill, and it was like it would have
it
been
would have been
30,000,
30,000. Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of it was we paid no money.
Which is why you'll see so many folks doing GoFundMe's for
Sure.
yeah.
their top surgery because it's an average of 20 to thirty
Uh,
thousand dollars out of
It's
pocket.
like the industry knows that it's a real medical health issue,
Yeah.
but they just don't say it out loud.
Exactly.
It's weird.
Yes. Yeah. It's most definitely life-saving care. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, in my
Because
opinion, the
to
more
that
Sam has
point,
been able to
could
do, the more confident I've seen him get,
Yeah.
and the more
Yeah, I was
uh,
gonna ask, like, how do you
yeah.
feel? Because you were saying, Sam, like, before you started going through your whole, steps towards transition, say, um, I mean, you were felt like a stranger in your own body. You had, suicidal thoughts,
Dysphoria, right?
dysphoria.
That whole idea.
I mean, how on those lines, you're pretty well transitioned at this point. It's been, you said like 5 years or so. You've been transitioning.
Mhm.
Around
Do
that.
you feel like yourself, or more like you're like, where are you at mentally, from that perspective?
I feel like a person, I guess, which I didn't before. I kind of felt very disconnected from social spaces and just society in general. I didn't really feel like I felt like I was kind of watching myself walk around just on the
Disassociated. Yeah.
Mm,
third person
okay.
perspective. Um,
Wow.
so, but yeah, now I just like, for the most part, I feel very I just feel like a human being now, I guess. I feel comfortable for the
Good.
most part in
You
my
deserve that.
Yeah,
individual.
like, see,
Mhm.
there you
Yeah,
go.
I'm able to like
Like,
wear the
let people
clothes that
be
I
who
want to
they
wear
are.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
How
mean,
long
honestly,
ago?
like
Oh,
massive strides from the last like 6 years.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
definitely been extremely difficult in parts, mental health wise and physically wise. Like we were saying, we had to come up with a lot of different measures to make him feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just being alone in the bathroom or his bedroom, or
Mm-hmm.
you know, using the bathroom when we're out and about. My husband would go with you into the bathrooms quite a bit, just out of concern, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I can see it in him, the amount of confidence that he has now compared to 3, 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
before a lot of transition happened, is huge. I mean,
Yeah.
one massive thing is since the top surgery, and we're all healed and comfortable now for the most part, we get full hugs again.
Hey,
We
there you
haven't
go.
had
That's nice.
a full hug in many, many years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
would
that's
never hug
my
or
Wow.
favorite.
squeeze people properly.
Yeah.
And I used to have very, very rough back problems as well because I would slouch and I would
Oh, to
hate
try
putting
to
my foot,
minimize.
as well as the
Hmm.
binder caused a lot of
Oh.
issues for sure.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would instinctively kind of slouch and
Mm.
my shoulders forward. So it ruined
Yeah.
my back for a while.
These are the things that people don't think about, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
and even like not getting a hug. I mean, being
Yeah.
alone, the bat, like all this stuff. It's
Hmm.
that's got to weigh on you. I mean,
Yeah.
for you,
Yeah.
Sam, and also you as as his mom. So,
Yeah. Oh,
um,
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
wow.
Some very tough times there,
So you
for
must
a
feel like
while.
you've moved some mountains over the last five
Yes.
Yeah.
years.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah.
guess so.
Literally moved states,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
for very large reason because of the option for gender affirming care.
Hmm.
And
Okay. I was
for
going to
us,
ask that because since I
Yeah,
knew
we
that
were
you had
yeah.
never
moved,
going to be able
Mhm.
to get that in our own state. That wasn't going to happen until I was
Mhm.
I
at
can
least.
understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you have that, those resources and that support and that you know, just the community, right?
Yeah.
And can we is I feel like it's pretty safe to assume that we've got a great community there, open-minded, just in all the ways. Do you feel like you're in the right place, like
Yeah,
socially?
we live near one of the best cities for that, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And the friends that you've made have been, uh,
Very, very accepting. Yeah, they
yeah.
none of them. I was very nervous to tell them, all my friends, because
Hmm.
eventually I did have to because of surgery. I couldn't like come. I didn't want to lie to them and
Hmm.
come
Yeah.
up with excuses for the rest of our friendship. So I was very nervous to do that, but they all sort of downplayed it a little bit, which was surprising to
Hmm.
me. I came to them to two of my one of my closest friends. Um, And I said, like, you don't have to be friends with me anymore. I know I've been lying, and I know you might not be comfortable with this. Like, you don't have to continue speaking with me or anything. And he said, like, and I had a big conversation with him. I kind of played it up, and I was like, this is really big. I've been hiding it from you for a long time. And he said, like, that's all. When I said, when I told him, like, I was born as a female. And yeah, that was his only response, really. He had some questions, and that's really it. He just
That's
said,
a good friend.
that's
Yeah.
all.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think that's
that's good.
what the majority of them said is just like, okay, whatever.
Cool. Okay, cool.
It
That's
was very, very cool for me to see that because I was, of course, I'm always very concerned about him with
sure.
new people, just not knowing how they're going to react, you know. And you hear a lot of stories about things not going well for a lot of
Sure.
transgender folks out there. And so as we said, like he was stealth this whole time that we've lived in the new state, which has been about 3 years now. Um, and so he made all these friends and they had no idea.
Mm,
Because stealth also means that
Nobody knows.
you can pass very well as the gender that you are, you know, transitioning to.
mm-hmm.
Um, Most people don't know. And so in his case, nobody really knows unless he tells them. Um, and so yeah, he somehow managed to get away with that for like 2.5 years. Um, and then as soon as we had the date for the surgery, he just like went off one day and told everybody immediately out of nowhere. And I was in shock. I was like, oh my God, like I should have prepared for this. Like, what if things go wrong? Like, should I be with him? And he came back and was like, yeah, everyone's cool. I was like,
Okay.
oh, all
Okay.
right, sweet. And then when he
That's
was
great.
out of school for about 2 weeks
Two
for
weeks.
surgery. It wasn't too long. Some of them even came by with like gift baskets to like get well soon, and like we're
Nice.
calling him and asking for updates and stuff. And
That's
um,
good.
yeah, really, really nice to see. It was, you know, that confidence, like immediately knowing
Yeah,
that he
that's
was
that's a
going to get
moment of
that.
courage there. You just completely put aside all fear and like, hey, this is me. Hi, everybody.
I
Yeah.
love it.
That's
Hmm.
a great moment.
Yeah, when you can finally like when you're just 100% confidence in yourself, right? Like fully embracing like who you are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And be
I love that for you.
and figuring not only being able to figure out who you really are,
Mm-hmm.
but being able having the family support and the community support and the medical support to become who you were,
Hmm. Yeah.
meant to
So it
be.
matches,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Not
like
many people don't have any of
and the
that.
simple fact that you now feel like your real self kind of tells you everything you need to know about being trans, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like why do we
Yeah.
care that much?
Like,
Hmm.
yeah, like
Yeah,
if you
he's
still
happier
didn't
and
feel
he's not trying
comfortable
to
in
hurt
your own
himself
skin,
anymore.
yeah,
You know,
like
like
Yeah.
seems like a
it's
valid thing to do.
it was obviously the right way to go
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
in your situation.
for sure.
And
What
and if you weren't really, if your brain wasn't really wired that way, you wouldn't go that way.
yeah.
Wouldn't have been
You know
here.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
you
That was
say like
the rate of
after go
detransition or like what
Like
point
point oh
two.
oh 0.002 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
sorry, say that again.
The rates
I
of
was
detransitioning is
Yeah.
like
oh,
very,
oh,
very,
D
very
try
small
okay, okay.
of
Okay.
Hmm.
people who
effectively zero.
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
people who actually want to go back after they do it is like almost zero.
and the
Nothing's
majority
ever
of
actually zero, but
yeah, the
Hmm.
majority of their reasoning also is just because of societal pressures as well.
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
usually because they feel the need to go back.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And also, most of the time, they have not gotten to the point in their transition of going through with surgery or anything.
Yeah.
Because again, I think that's a misconception. You don't just get surgery overnight or within 6 months.
I
If
didn't get
oh
you
it.
yeah.
feel like
Took you
you,
5 years, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
about 6 years altogether.
Six
Yeah.
years. There
Wow.
you go.
Long process.
And
Okay.
a lot of doctors,
Mm.
Uh-huh.
you have to have at least a year, maybe two of therapy.
You have to have a
Mm-hmm.
recommendation letter from your therapist as well.
Hmm. And from your primary care provider, you have to have a recommendation letter. You have to have tried hormones. You have to have gone through, you know, a full gender affirming process as far as transitioning socially. Like you have to have gone through
There's a lot of
quite a bit of
things
your
you have to meet
transition
to be able
before
to.
you're even going to be considered a candidate as a youth.
Yeah. It's
Gotcha.
not as
And there
easy
you
as
go.
some people paint it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can just make the decision
Yeah,
one
you can't
day
just
and
walk in a doctor and be like,
Yeah.
transition me, and
Cut them
Yeah.
off.
they
Yeah.
immediately
Yeah.
just start cutting you up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah,
not.
that's
I mean, that's the
not
picture
what
that
happened.
gets painted in the public
Hmm.
eye. Like that's almost how the media wants you to think of it
Yeah.
in a way, or it's
Yeah.
at least some of the media and some of the politicians want you to see it that way. But yeah, here you go. Here's the real story. It takes real
That
work and
easy.
commitment,
Hmm.
and like they want to know that you know for sure that this is it before
Right.
you
Yeah,
get there, and they're gonna make you go through the process. Like,
Oh yeah.
definitely.
and well, they should. Well, they should. You know.
Yeah,
Especially with kids. Yeah, especially
Hmm.
with kids.
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
Yeah.
should
You
be
gotta
certain.
make sure that you're sure. But if you're
Yeah.
sure, then yeah, go ahead. You know.
Yeah. And there's no surgeries happening with like under 16s. None
Okay.
That's
Oh,
I was
whatsoever.
gonna
non-existent.
ask if
Like
there was like
none.
a
It is
minimum.
actually very rare that he was even able to get it under the age of 18. We're just in a very
oh.
progressive state, and he has been transitioning hardcore
For a
for the
long time.
last like 6 years.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Right.
don't think there's
Yeah.
ever been a 13-year-old or anyone
Mm-mm.
of that age
Yeah.
range that has ever gotten
Okay.
surgery.
I
Yeah.
mean, did surgery even like be a real thing? Because if you haven't gone through that hormonal puberty stage, like
Like you still have to grow into your
And
yeah, like you
more
kind of
adult
have to
body.
have the
Yeah.
part.
biologically, you
Exactly.
You
can't
got to
you
kind
Hmm.
of
can't no
have the
grow
parts
back.
before they take them
Right.
off, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a
Exactly.
doctor, obviously, from what I just said,
And
but
we don't play them on TV.
yeah,
What kind of community do you have in place now, though? Like, how does that like change kind of like your social, I guess, even for you as Amy as an adult, and like, is it like any of this? Like, have you found yourself in different friend circles or groups that support families with, a transgender kid or spouse or whoever for that matter? I mean, what's
Yeah.
out there
Well, I mean, I think because we moved states about 2 or 3 years ago, it's hard to find a brand new community in a new state as it is.
anywhere?
Right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, like where do you start?
right.
Especially, I work at home.
Hmm.
My kids aren't going on play dates or anything anymore, so you don't meet other moms or anything
Right.
that way. So I kind of gravitated to some online local communities.
Hmm.
I've always gravitated to the queer community because
Yeah.
I know they're safe. I know they're going to be accepting
Hmm.
of my
and
whole
they're
family
generally more fun.
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Yeah.
Just gonna put it out there.
I mean, yeah.
They throw way better parties.
Way better
Oh
Right.
parties.
yeah, way better.
So actually when we moved over here, when we were in our previous state, I went on gayrealestate.com and found our real estate agent there,
Oh,
I did not know
who
that was a
has
thing.
now become, him and his husband have become very good friends of ours.
uh-huh.
Um, and so, we go to
And he
their
sold
birthday
us this
parties.
house.
He sold us our house.
Nice.
And
But
then through them, we've met some folks, some more friends and stuff from there. So,
yeah.
um, that's kind of how I do it.
Uh-huh.
Is one way, is trying to find those safe communities. But, as being a parent of, queer youths, my other kid is also on the queer spectrum,
Yeah.
as it were.
Okay.
Um, I mostly gravitate to like the online forums and kind of look through the different questions and answers and opinions and suggestions that everybody else has in there. And
Hmm.
um, because we're kind of far and few between. Um,
Yeah.
to be honest, like
Yeah.
the what's the percentage? I think it's 1% of the population of the US, maybe two, is transgender.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Not a lot of us.
1%,
If it's that, even
you
Yeah.
know?
Making it seem like
it's
there's more
not a
of
big percentage. You know.
Right.
I
So
think it's I think it's point something even.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
what I've heard it's definitely at most one, I think.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
So point being, it's not like, it's like this
Not like a
rampant thing
worldwide
that,
Right.
epidemic.
It's a very small minority of
Yes,
people.
the trends are taking over. That's
right, which is, it seems like some people would present it that way, but that is not the case.
Right.
not in the least.
Yeah. Um, so I'm
That's
just kind of watching time here a little bit, and
yeah.
yeah, I know I'm the timekeeper.
No, we're okay.
Back off, Jeremy.
We're okay.
No, we're good. But I do want to, the one thing I really do want to touch on too is like, so you guys have been going through this, right? Like you've pushed the mountain, right? You've climbed up over and did the thing, and you're kind of on the other side. So, I mean, not entirely, right? Like
Yeah, there's more
I'm
to
not,
do.
yeah,
Mhm.
more to do, but you've gone through a lot. And so now it's like you can impart your wisdom onto other people that maybe
Mhm.
starting on that journey. What would you tell them? Like what kind of advice might you give or guidance or any kind of good stuff that maybe somebody is seeking and just doesn't know where to find it?
Um, I mean, my biggest advice would just be to do the same kind of thing I did. Just go through all the things, and see what makes you feel comfortable, see what makes you
Mhm.
feel right. And it doesn't matter what other people really think. If they think differently, or if they think it's a negative thing that you're discovering who you want to be in life, I think that that's just a gap in education right there.
And they're probably not the right people for you,
Yeah, find some
you know.
different people if you don't
Mhm.
have the right ones right now. But yeah,
Yeah.
biggest advice would just be to kind of go through the motions. It takes time. It doesn't happen immediately, unfortunately, and it is a very hard process.
Mhm.
So, if you're kind of like out there getting ready to maybe start going into this same process, just prepare yourself, I guess. Try to just reach out and talk to people that you can talk to as much as you can, I guess.
Mhm.
Just find those safe people. I know not a lot of people have those sources like I might,
Mhm.
but if you're able to, just find as many as you can, talk to someone, anyone, and
Mhm.
get as much help as you can.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoever you can find who is going to be supportive of your journey, for
Yeah,
sure.
doesn't matter. In
If it's
person,
not,
online,
yeah,
whatever.
if it's not your parents, unfortunately that sucks. I know that seems to happen far more than it should. Um,
Yeah.
but there's plenty of people out there. There's a lot of different programs where you can get connected with a peer,
Mhm.
who is further along in their transition, who can be your support person. Kind of like an AA thing, but for,
Mhm.
Yeah.
for trans youth who are trying to figure it out and they need some guidance and
Sure.
parents can't do it.
Everyone needs a mentor at some point, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then there's also an organization, it's an app called Stand in Pride. I'm also a part of that where you can either sign up to be a parent, an aunt, whomever somebody might need, a brother or sister
I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, for any age, I think, transgender folks out there who need someone. A lot of the time, it's folks who are getting married and they don't have a parent to walk them down the aisle. They don't have a parent to be at their wedding in any way, and so you can find a new mom on
If you
on
need it.
Stand in
Yeah.
I want to
Pride.
get on this app. I
I
want to
know. I
see
kind of
It's
want
a
to do that
really
too.
cool, it's really
that's
cool.
what
Yeah, I
I'll
would
walk someone down the
definitely.
aisle. I look very
Mhm.
fartherly in my way.
I was
I clean up really well too. Like you should see me when I dress up. It's kind of impressive.
but you're like an ordained minister too.
I am. I could also officiate the
Oh,
weddings.
look at
That's
that.
perfect.
That's
They need those
perfect.
all the time too.
I would do that
I would.
just for
I
that
would.
purpose.
Actually, that's a great. I should
Yeah,
totally sign up
that's
on there.
something amazing that a lot of
I could
people.
just give them free officiating,
There you go.
officiate the wedding. Man.
I was
Yeah.
I was thinking about the group, this like the free mom hugs, I think it is, where they
Mhm.
show up to certain events.
Yes.
I like I've been a part of it. I've never actually went to it, but oh, shame on me. But I do want to give people hugs that need hugs.
Yeah,
And I would
Yeah.
I love
100%.
hugs.
I would love to be. I need to get
Yeah,
on.
they're
What is it
always
called
at
again?
that's
Stand in pride.
stand in
Stand.
pride. Yeah,
Let's put that in the show
that's
I'm
notes.
in the show notes. I'll
Yeah,
put it
a
down.
great
we
one.
definitely need to put that out
We're
there.
gonna have some good show notes on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of
No,
sources.
Stanford professor lecturing and the Stand in
Yeah.
Pride app. Like, there's
Yeah.
actually got to be some
You
pretty cool
sound
show
really
notes.
brainy.
Getting
I
educational
know.
here.
Yeah, we can
Education.
be smart around here.
Um, Anything else you wanted to add, or do you feel like you've kind of covered all of the things there?
I did want to mention another resource for kids, as a, trigger warning, we've talked about suicide and all kinds of
Hmm.
things on this podcast, and that does happen a lot. The Trevor Project,
Yep.
uh,
Yeah.
we have
Trevor
used
Project.
throughout the last 6 years. They have a chat line. So you don't have to call anyone. You can just literally chat to someone in your bed if you're having a really hard time one
Hmm.
night and you have no one to talk to at all, no support. They can be there.
It's
Um,
also
Like
completely,
texting chat, you mean?
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
like
it's
a
like
Oh,
text.
it's
that's cool.
literally a number that you text, and I
Okay.
think they introduce themselves, and it's like, hey, I'm whoever, whatever name,
Mhm.
tell me about what's going on, and they just have a conversation with you. They get to the bottom of
Yeah.
it. Maybe
Because a
try to
lot of kids, teenagers and whatnot these days, don't I sound old? They're more comfortable with texting than actual verbal
Exactly.
conversation,
yeah.
right? It's
Most
just a more comfortable
most of us
medium for
don't
them.
love calls, I think.
Hmm.
Right. I
Yeah.
don't like phone calls anymore myself. I think texting and email are like the best ways to communicate.
Yeah.
Easier.
It feels
I really
faster
do
a
think
lot of
that.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Short form text, long form email.
Yeah.
We don't really need anything else.
So
Exactly.
Trevor Project has a chat line, and I do
Trevor
also, and I
Project.
had pulled one up. The Trans Lifeline also has an 800 number.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
One's lifeline.
I
Yeah,
think
we'll
they
be sure
probably
to.
have a chat line too, a text
They
line.
probably do.
Most of them do. Mhm.
Yeah, Trevor Project is main, I think, for all LGBTQ, but the one you found is, I think, specifically maybe for trans
Yeah.
people. But
Mhm.
Trevor, you can be anyone. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Trevor Project.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
yeah.
They
I
also
didn't
have
know
a ton
about
of
that. That's cool.
resources on there if you're like you're trying to explain different things to your parents who may not understand.
Mhm.
Um, there's good, I think there's good resources in there. I found some when I was trying to explain to like my parents who are,
Mhm.
now we're talking boomers, trying to explain all that is, it can be difficult,
Yeah.
especially right now. So there's some good like talking points and resources and stuff on there that I actually used and sent a
Right.
couple things, used some to talk to them. Yeah.
There's better resources out there than we thought, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
It's good
lot.
to know there's community building going on with all these different
Yeah.
things.
There are, but again, unfortunately, a lot of those are being defunded
Sure.
rapidly.
And I'm sure doxed and otherwise,
Yeah. Hmm.
unlawfully uh, spied upon
Oh,
in
yeah.
different ways.
Right.
That's the problem with building public organizations for things that
Yeah.
the powers that be don't like.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So many not good things happening right now, which, that,
Which all the more, thank you so much for coming on.
I mean,
this
yeah,
podcast.
especially, and
I really do appreciate you guys going public with your story.
Yeah.
yeah, and let's hope we can turn things around back where they should be in terms of policy and legislation and support.
Hey, vote.
Oh yeah, vote. That's a good one.
Vote.
Please.
Absolutely. Vote. Have conversations.
We're lucky if we get
Look up
60% of our voting
information.
populace to vote. Everybody needs to vote. Everybody, if you can vote, vote.
Yeah.
Because then the good guys will win, because most of us are good.
Yeah.
We're just lazy because we're American. I am on that list. I'm not holding it against anybody. It's just how we are. Don't be lazy.
But
Vote.
it is.
Use
That's
your
the
voice.
best, with everything that's going on, that's still the best thing we can do.
Yeah. What do you like? It just I want to end kind of on a note here. Talk about a little bit into the future, like where you are right now. How do you feel about your future, Sam? Do you feel optimistic? Do you think you're like this is it? I've got this figured out. I'm just going to go off into the world here as an adult here, and live the rest of my life in the way that it was meant to be.
Unfortunately, no, I don't feel very optimistic currently. Just with
Not
how it's
currently.
going,
Mhm.
not currently, but I think without all of those kind of outside influences of and dangers and things like that, I think I could, if those weren't influencing my life so heavily, because I sometimes I feel like I can't go out in public without feeling afraid that someone might clock me or figure out somehow. And I don't know, figure something out. And that's why I
Mhm.
still to this day, even after coming out to a lot of my friends, I
Mhm.
don't tell people unless I trust them very deeply.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
And
it's
trust that
still
they
a tough road.
yeah.
As
They won't
as
get
Which
my
is
old
why we're
Boston
anonymous today.
as my
Yeah.
old Boston self would have said, it ain't none of their business anyway.
Yeah.
That's true.
Fair.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
None of their business.
I wish for you that will change.
I hope.
Yeah, because it should.
Yeah,
And
I mean, you feel better within yourself. Now
Yes.
the
Not
problem is
within
the outside world is the problem now. So at least there's progress there.
at least
Yeah.
at least we got that.
let's just hope the clocks don't get turned
Hope-
back too far.
Hopefully by the time, you're 27 instead of 17, the outside world is feeling as good as your inside self.
We could
Yeah.
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 Let's all hope.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hope for that.
I'm going to vote for it.
I'm an
I'll vote
optimist.
for it next election.
I
That's
will
right.
vote for it in the next election.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm an optimist. I'm going to be optimistic for you. And now you got a couple more people on your team, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're here for you. Well, thank you guys both for coming on. This has been enlightening. This has been informative. It's been
Yeah.
educational. We have checked all of the boxes that we intend to check on the show, and then some. And I hope we have created some empathy maybe more than anything.
Yeah, and
so.
hopefully people who hear this will go and support these organizations that we're putting in the show notes as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Get out and help. I'm going to sign up to be a wedding minister for people.
I think you should.
I am.
Gonna be a
I think that was a great idea.
Or stand-in dad.
Yeah, stand-in dad. I'll walk you down the aisle. I'll be your officiant, whatever you need.
Yeah. Let us know.
I'm a good photographer too. Like I could just do whatever you need.
Multiple
I love it.
Sure, why not?
He's dad
I mean, if
photographer.
I'm going to go to a wedding, I may as well put myself
might
to
as
work.
well.
You know?
Yeah, they're gonna need pictures. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right.
You have to feed
Thank
me
you guys
though.
for having
Yeah.
us.
He's like, all right, now we're talking about something else.
As long as you feed me, I'm in.
With that, we're going to say goodbye. Just feed him. That's all we need. Okay.
Thanks for joining us on the Healthcare Uprising. Make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons before you go, and take a moment to think of a friend and hit that share button. You can find us on all the major audio platforms, and we've got video on YouTube if you want to watch us in action.
You can also find us on social media on LinkedIn, TikTok, and Instagram. Just search Healthcare Uprising to find us. And if you're a new company with a cool new product, if you're someone innovating alternative methods for the health and wellness space, or if you have a personal healthcare journey you'd like to share with us here at The Uprising, please email us at healthcareuprising@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you about coming on the show. Well, that's all for this dose of Healthcare Uprising. Until the next time, keep looking for the good in the world, because sometimes it's where you least expect it.
We are not doctors and we don't play one on TV. If you need medical advice, consult with your physician or a healthcare professional. This has been a Shut Up production.
Shut up!